All right, we're live. So this is Dig the Falls. We're Waterfalls and everything outdoors in New York. Volunteer organization focusing on cleaning up trails, building trails, things like that. We've got a great team of volunteers, and on with me is Stash Russen. Stash, you can introduce yourself.
Unfortunately, my name is Stash Russen. I am with Dig the Falls and several other organizations. I've been with Ed for about 9, 10 years now. Um, we've explored some stuff together and worked out together and stuff like that. So I was second vice president of the 3500 Club. I stepped down recently this weekend.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
just too much stuff going on like in my life. So
gotcha.
um, and that's like I'm sorry to say it, but that's like a huge responsibility
Hmm.
to have,
Yeah,
especially with what's going on and how popular it's gotten up there in the Catskills. So I had to step down and let somebody else that could probably do it better than me and faster than me take over.
well, and it's not like you can't still make a big impact with what you do already,
Of
right?
course, I'll still volunteer my my life to the Catskills and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So that's
nice. Yeah.
that's a sad thing.
Yeah. How did it make you feel stepping down?
It was fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I took my time thinking about it because um, it was several incidences where I couldn't keep up with what's going on. You know,
Hmm.
I know I sound like I don't know, it's lame. I have an 8 to 5 job, and so does
What's wrong with
everybody
that?
else. I
Yes.
don't. Everybody else does. So I'm trying to, if somebody contacts me, I can't really sit there on my phone right in the middle of
No.
the store
No.
playing around and get a call or something like that. So if it's something important, I got to wait till, maybe my
Hmm.
break time, and they might
Yep.
be on their break at the same exact time, and then I got to wait till the end of the day and they're already gone. So
Yep.
it's a wasted opportunity of saving stuff in the Catskills or making the Catskills a better place.
Hmm. Well, it comes down to the team as well. I mean, you've got presidents, vice presidents, and the rest of the team as well. So, if you can't be the only one that has to be relied on. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
It was just it was all right. I mean,
Yeah.
they made me feel pretty incredible when I
Yeah.
left, though,
Oh,
because
that's great.
they gave me an awesome present. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook.
I didn't. No, I'm sorry. Oh, you turned your mic off. Hold on.
It muted it for
There
some
you go.
reason.
Yeah, got it.
Um,
Okay.
my friend gave me a periodic table of the high peaks in the Catskills.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I didn't understand. I didn't get to read everything, but wow, that thing was awesome actually. Saw that hung up.
It was incredible what he
Yeah.
did.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Indeed.
So, um, so
What
what are you
about
gonna do with it?
yourself, Ed? How about you tell it like besides your Dig the Falls thing, you kind of have a background as well.
All right, yeah. So, it's been a interesting couple of months for me. So, the last year for everyone was a very hard year. Um, and this, maybe everyone's kind of heard of this thing that everyone's doing that, they're coming to a realization that there's a little bit more to life than just, uh, working for a large corporation and, you know, whatever. So, I came to a realization that I was I didn't want to be micromanaged anymore, and I wanted to kind of branch out. It Most people don't know this about me, but I've been a field service engineer for 20 years, and basically my job pertained to going to different pharmaceutical and laboratory sites, visiting them, and repairing instrumentation, installing, qualifying, validating instrumentation software. Um, I've been doing that for 20 years, so I figured, middle of a pandemic, I've got 3 kids to take care of and a big house. Why not quit? Um, so, so I left, and I'm very happy with the decision. The company that I left was a very good company, one of the top in the industry. But I chose to focus my energy on the kids, my wife, and starting my own business. So, so that's kind of what has been going on for the last couple months. It's it's funny. I don't know. You may not feel this yet, but right now I feel like I'm way busier now than what I was when I had a full-time job. It's really interesting. So, um,
Yeah.
hopefully that doesn't happen to you because you were busy
Yeah.
enough as it was. So,
It's funny because everybody. I have no children, so if everybody's like, oh, you have an unlimited amount of time.
no,
Absolutely not.
oh no,
Two jobs. Um, I mean,
dogs.
once again, I'm dogs, three dogs, helping out my friends, with their animals going on vacation,
Hmm.
the volunteering, the hiking. It's like I don't think there's a day where I don't walk over 20,000 steps.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow,
So it's
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. It's funny you say that. For the last probably 2 or 3 years, I've been averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 thousand steps, maybe 5,000, if that. And with it, once I actually left my career, I have been tripling and quadrupling that almost every single day. It's
Nice.
incredible. Yeah. So it's been really really great for the health for sure. Eating better. I am rarely, if ever, stressed now, so it's nice. It's really great. Um, but yeah, that's actually something that I only recently shared with my family. Um, just because the stigma of leaving a job and starting your own company. So
Yeah, well, you got to get that ball rolling. It doesn't just take a little
yeah.
flick. You got to keep pushing and pushing. So you're going to be busy as heck.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've got a marketing plan put together. I've got I'm pretty serious about this time, and I've got a couple of clients already. So so we'll see what happens.
Excellent.
I'm yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am. So
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, excellent. Um, so, back on track with the hiking and the outdoors and everything. You are always on the trail, so I know you've got a story for us.
Damn straight. So what story do you want? Like, do you want my hiking today?
Yeah, sure. Your
Um,
most recent, sure.
so today, my friend John and I went on a hike in Haynes Falls. It's called the Escarpment Trail.
Mm,
It's right by Catskill Falls and everything, and it provides views everywhere, easy terrain,
nice.
lots of history, lots of awesome history, geological and um like human history.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it was around 8 miles we did, and
Wow.
it was awesome. Just the history of what you can see along that trail going into the ravine. There's awesome glacial movement,
Hmm.
uh, glacial striations. Just everything is wicked about that area. It doesn't matter. You can make it 3 miles, you can make it 8 miles, you can make it 12 miles. There's
Wow.
so much area around that little South Lake region.
So when you go down the trail, is it kind of like if you make it like 3 miles, you got to just turn around and go back? Is that kind of how it works?
There's like a cutoff point of where you can just you take the blue trail and it loops around to all these viewpoints like
Mm,
Inspiration Point, Sunset Rock, stuff like that. And
gotcha.
then once you come up to a junction, it'll have a yellow trail to the left, and then it'll take you up like a horse carriage road
Nice.
back to wherever you parked, Scott Road or uh, Laurel Road.
Okay.
And then you can keep on going to North South Lake if you parked over there or something like that, but that's the
Nice.
other side.
Nice. Wow.
So it was very, very nice, beautiful hike, beautiful wildflowers that I've never seen in the area for some reason. I don't know why.
Huh.
Um, they were, what were they? I have to look at my pictures.
Yeah, I was
One
gonna
of
say,
them,
did you get pictures? You got pictures, hopefully.
yes, oh, definitely.
Cool.
One of them was a pale colored Susan, black eyed pale colored sunflower,
Oh, interesting. Okay, I
pale
hadn't heard of it.
leaved sunflower. That's what it
Pale
was.
leaves sun. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it looks just like a sunflower except for the middle is a lighter color, almost as white as yellow as the leaves.
Wow. Okay. And
And then
I'm assuming much smaller, right? Just real small.
they're the same size as like a black eyed Susan,
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Wow. That's pretty
and they
cool.
look just like it with less leaves, I think. So,
Okay.
and the other one was a hold on, I'm looking at my pictures. Was it Foxgrove? Like
Is it foxglove?
a downy yellow false foxglove. I've never heard of that before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Wow.
Yeah,
I'll have to look those up. That sounds pretty cool. Did you post
yeah,
them?
I
Yeah,
did.
I'll have to look. I have not been on Facebook very much lately. I actually have people asking me if everything's okay.
Yeah, right. I've seen a
So
couple posts here and there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll have to check them out though. That's cool.
It was
Nice.
beautiful day, beautiful, perfect day do this. Saw a
Yeah.
decent amount of people at Catterskill Falls, of course, and they were all I don't want to like assholes.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you say hi to them and they're just like, hey, and they walk past you and
And
it's like,
nothing.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say like, hey, how's it going? Good afternoon. And they're just like,
yeah.
hey,
Hey, yeah. You bring up kind of a personal pet peeve of mine, and just kind of thinks I'm silly about this. But like I give like the nod and or say hi, and
mm-hmm,
not literally nothing.
yep,
And like at least give like a nod or a hey, what's up kind
yep.
of thing. I don't know. I just that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. But
I think I used to give the nod all the time,
yeah,
and since I've gotten to more volunteering, I've more like I approach people more and better, kind of
okay,
like rather than just like nod. It also
yep,
depends like what I if I see the person from a distance and I can
yeah,
see that they're hustling and they're not have any interest in me, then
right,
like they have
right.
their hat down like this and
Yeah.
stuff, just like
No eye contact, and yeah,
yep,
and that's the thing. I can understand like the person, like you can tell certain people they just want no interaction whatsoever. Like
yep,
they're just not interested. They're either on the hike or they're just uncomfortable, whatever it is. But then there's others that you would assume like you're looking at them, they look like nice. Well, most people look like nice people, but these guys look like they you could walk up to them and nothing,
yep.
nothing at all. So I don't know. So,
Yeah.
wow. So was the lot packed up there at Caterskill?
Uh, we bypassed Catterskill Falls because it was a little packed at the time. In the morning
Okay.
we could have went and it would have
Yeah.
been little things. So in the morning I checked down at the lower parking lot and which is the Laurel because the other one's closed.
Okay.
And it was like probably at like 50%, and that was at like 9, I think.
Okay. I mean that it's not a huge area anyway, right?
No, no, the
As I
parking lot
remember.
could
Yeah.
probably hold like 30 cars, and the lower
Okay.
one, the upper one can hold at least 50 to 75. But
Right.
who wants to walk an extra half a mile to a waterfall?
Oh, yeah. I mean, walking to the top isn't bad though.
Yeah,
Top of the falls.
oh yeah, not at all. But
Yeah.
people try to get a parking spot in that lower spot just to get cut a
Yeah.
half a mile off of their hike, which is
Right. Right. I got
ridiculous.
you.
But
Yeah. At that point, it's nothing really.
yeah, but it
But
was we bypassed it, and then I drove down, and later in the day it was packed, and people were coming back up to the other parking lot.
mm. No, I hadn't heard why is the upper lot closed?
The lower lot on 23A is closed,
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got you.
and that is because it's was a madhouse during COVID,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
people kept parking on the streets, so they
Yep.
closed it indefinitely, just to well, not
Good.
indefinitely, but they closed it to have people stop parking on the streets and being idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. It would not hurt my feelings at all if they just kept it closed indefinitely.
They
So
probably will because it
yeah.
only can fit like 15, 20 cars, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. At that point, it's just a tease for most people anyway. Yeah.
Yep.
So wow. So you alluded to the fact that you had more hikes that you'd been on recently.
Somewhat. I was a trailhead steward 2 days at Slide Mountain, so
Yeah.
that was fun. What did I do other than that? I did a bunch of hikes around Otsego County
Okay.
to do the Otsego Octet.
Oh
So
yeah. Okay. I remember
it's a
that.
little
Yeah.
challenge, and it's
Yep.
very easy stuff.
Mhm.
Barely any elevation gain. Interesting places like for some reason sculpture parks,
Hmm. Okay.
uh, which is very odd in the middle of nowhere. And then there was a state forest that had no trail markings, no trail
No.
what like just a very faint trail that so I guarantee a lot of people are going to go up there and get lost.
But nice. Okay. Like what was the one? They call it Swampanoka or Wampanoka. Yeah,
Mm. Oh
Wampanoka
yeah.
up there. Yeah, that's kind of a place where you can get lost pretty easily too, even though
Yeah.
there's good trails there. But
Yeah, these trails had knee high grass, and
wow.
luckily
Okay.
I like study the maps before, and
Yeah.
there's no trail markers until you get to one part where it's like a snowmobile trail,
Oh wow.
and
Okay.
then it just cuts. It's only like a tenth of a mile, and all of a sudden it's back to bushwhacking almost. So
So, as I remember, you finished the octet, right?
I did.
Yeah. Nice.
I
That's
had to
cool.
do 8 of the 16 challenges,
Okay.
and it's not just hiking. It's like walking, paddling, kayaking,
Oh, okay.
different things, biking.
Nice.
So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say, I haven't, and this has been for quite a while since I've had the kids, but I haven't really been able to get out there unless I go by myself. I can't really get on any really good trails. And then, once I get out there by myself, I'm like, I've been so exhausted that I just pick one that I'm familiar with and I just, basically walk as much as I can and then, forage and look for
Yeah.
different things and bugs and things like that that I haven't seen before. Um, but one thing that I've kind of uh, noticed personally is that with the kids with me, they've gotten to the point where they slow me down like a lot, like, but not in a way that they can't keep up. They're slowing me down because they're looking at so many different things on the side of the trail now.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it forces me to kind of be a lot more present instead of just hoofing it to the next trail marker basically. And what's kind of nice about that, and tell me if you've ever done this. So uh, a couple weeks ago, it was a great week's worth of weather, and I chose to go to one of the local parks here, and the trails are phenomenal there, nice and flat. It's a spot that I almost always take the kids because it's just a really nice spot to go to. I wound up probably about I don't know, maybe half a mile into the hike. I took off my shoes and I did almost the entire thing with bare feet.
Nice. No,
So
I've never done that.
yeah, so and that I have to say, like I used to go barefoot all the time when I was a kid. Like I never had shoes on, and to the point where I would be stepping on bees all the time, and it was not fun. But it's just what we did as kids, and it was really interesting because it was a lot more enjoyable for me actually because it kind of did slow me down um, going down the trail, but it also allowed me to kind of feel the dirt underneath my feet and just have a
Oh
good
yeah.
time. And I see a frown faced by someone that probably didn't like the fact that I was walking barefoot. Let me explain that these are well groomed trails. It's in, a half a mile away from a bigger community along with, several different roads. So if I did cut my foot, I'd be walking out of there easily enough by myself. So but it's old growth forest, and they don't have a lot of stone or shale or anything like that. So it's a lot of like softer dirt and grassy areas, which was kind of nice. But I don't know. I having the kids slow me down kind of brought me into a mindset that that would be kind of fun. So I did it. It was
Nice.
yeah, it was really cool actually.
That's pretty crazy. I
Yeah,
know a guy that did the 35. Well, is doing the 3,500 barefoot.
barefoot.
Uh,
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
Steve,
it's
that's
really weird.
extreme. But I mean, good for him though. I mean, there are some people that I've seen videos of where they'll start, like they'll show the start of their feet, like when they first start barefooting, and then like them like fully barefoot, and the calluses that they get, that they're able to kind of achieve to keep their feet safe. Incredible.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like leather. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
I would think if depending on where you hike, you have to keep that uh, I don't know how to say like grip and stuff like that.
yeah,
You know, like you're hiking in
yeah.
the Adirondack high peaks or the Catskills.
Oh,
It's a
geez.
slippery
Yeah,
rock.
yeah. Even with good shoes, sometimes that slippery rock is just like ice anyway. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, but what's interesting about it is, geez, probably a week ago, I took the kids out, and we were on the trail, and we actually did one of our longest hikes together. And we were nearing the end of the hike, and we came across this one dude with his dog, and he had no shoes on. He was hiking. He was the same exact trail I hiked. He hiked it. He was hiking it with no shoes on. So, um, so I guess I'm not completely insane.
No, not at all.
So,
I mean, if
um,
I would try that out
yeah,
on, like you said, well-groomed trails, like
yeah,
maybe that had the pine needles and everything, and
yeah, yeah,
but nothing with roots and rocks because
yeah.
I'm a baby when it comes to rocks.
It's funny because up until a couple of years ago, the bottoms of my feet were like baby's feet. Like they were all completely soft, no calluses whatsoever. And I've actually been going, without shoes in the backyard and in the driveway and stuff a lot more.
Mm.
And you'd be surprised how fast that actually builds up on the bottom of your feet. When I first started doing it, I literally couldn't walk on our driveway because it's got the little stones. It's really old blacktop, and it's got the little stones, and I couldn't walk on the driveway. And now I have no problem walking across the driveway anytime.
Wow, those are like Legos to me.
Yes, yeah, it's horrible. Every little tiny one you feel on your foot, it's out of control. So, but going back to hiking with the kids, they're the boys are 4 now, and Charlotte is 6. They're to the point where like I can walk down the trail with them. They're picking up mushrooms and showing me which mushrooms they found, and bugs and animals especially they love. I taught them how to find the red F's. Um,
Nice.
Charlotte's been Charlotte's been finding these giant uh, snails. Like I didn't even know we had terrestrial snails.
Interesting. Well, I'm not familiar with that. Explain that. I'm guessing they're like ancient
Ter-
snails.
terrestrial snails. So basically, they live on land instead of in the water. Love the discussion here. Are there any trails that are easy for someone with a bad knee? I love hiking, but can't do many. I live in Western New York area. Um, I used to live in Western New York, Mike, and there are tons and tons of them out in Western New York, but it depends on where you're coming from, Western New York. So if you don't mind traveling, um, are you coming from Buffalo, Rochester, or are you somewhere kind of south, like even Corning area? Let us know, and then we can suggest some spots for you. But so terrestrial snails like these things. So basically, we she found them on trees. Their shells are about as big as 50-cent pieces. They're like pretty
Wow.
large for the area. I didn't know we had snails that large in the area. And we shouldn't be doing this, but I looked this up. They're not endangered in any way. They're not a special species or anything like this. Apparently, they're pretty prevalent. I've never seen one, but apparently they're prevalent. So we grabbed one and brought it home, and we've got it in a terrarium, and we feed it,
Nice.
lettuce and peppers and things like that, and it seems to enjoy having the fresh food. So, um,
Crazy.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Um, So no, it's really cool. Mike, you're from Buffalo and North Towns. Okay, so I'm trying to think because I was from Rochester, Geneseo area, and obviously the first ones that come to mind for any kind of trails are Letchworth State Park, obviously. Um, Stony Brook State Park. Stony Brook's not really that great for someone with a bad knee, but Letchworth has got plenty of trails for someone with a bad knee. Um, let me. I'm gonna have to look that up actually, because it's been a while since I've been back in Buffalo. And I know if Cara were on the line, she'd be able to tell you right away because she lives out that way too.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. So let me look that up because I know of. I've been to actually Akron Town Park is a really nice one. It's got a couple of waterfalls there that are really great. Um, and then Glen Mills in Williamsville. Um, is actually a nice short walk. It's not a longer one. So, and that one's got a waterfall. So, but I'll look that up, Mike, and I'll actually give you a list after the live session here. So, but yeah, so I've back to the kids hiking on the trail. Eternal Flame. That's actually an awesome. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit because um, Mike's live here. So um, Eternal Flame is actually a great one. I would say the one big warning on that one is that you have to creek walk to get up to the flame itself. So if the water is a little bit higher, the creek bed does get slick, but it's not horrible. As long as you have some pretty good shoes, you should be all set. There's a portion right before you get into the creek where you are walking down a hill a little bit to get into the creek bed. But as long as you take your time or you're willing to scoot on your butt, it's completely, easy to get down into that area. And then parking is roadside for that trail. So unless they've changed it since the last time I've been there, but um, you know, as long as you can find the trailhead, it should be fairly decent to get into. um, but yeah, so getting the kids out has been a lot easier. They're finding. You're welcome, Mike. We're finding frogs. We're finding toads. Red F's, like I said, those giant snails, which are, maybe I'll be able to pull one out depending on where they're at.
Mhm.
But so basically the kids will walk the entire trail, and Charlotte, she'll have basically a couple snails just kind of inching their way up along her arm the entire time. So and Jackson always seems to find the craziest stuff. Like he always finds either the giant spiders or the whatever else he probably shouldn't be touching, but he is anyway.
Yeah, you guys and your spiders, your family and
Yeah,
your spiders.
I don't know. This kid is fearless. Spiders and bees, like he has no trouble picking up either, and they don't sting him. So I don't know what it is about the kid, but they seem to love him. I don't know. They
That's
don't bother him
crazy.
at all. Yeah, it's out of control. The other day, do you know those uh like they're water hunter spiders or some people call them dock spiders, like
The ones that
base.
like bow their legs and go across
Yeah,
the. Yeah,
yeah, they're like that big. He found
yeah,
one of those the other day, and he came like this close to picking the darn thing up, and I had to stop him. I'm like, dude, slow down.
that's crazy. That is.
Yeah.
I got.
So,
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, with Jessica and I have four garter snakes here. So if you want to come here
oh yeah,
and play around with them, they're
oh
sitting
yeah,
out. They're always baking out in the sun on
yeah,
the right side of the hot tub.
oh yeah, absolutely. He'd be on those like wet on rice. I mean, he's so fast. The A couple years back, he was only about 2.5, maybe three at the time, and we walked out our back door, and there was a 3 foot long eastern, what do they call those, eastern milk snake, the brown and white ones,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That
and this
they look like rattlesnakes and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and they'll
people
kind
always
of,
confuse that.
yeah. So he literally saw it, and like as he was walking out the door, he saw it, ran down the stairs, and grabbed the thing by the neck and picked it up. Like it didn't even have time to react. It was out of control. So
Wow.
he lifted it up like this to his face, and it touched the ground. That's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing to see these kids just jumping on pretty much anything that moves. It's funny. Um,
Oh man.
they're but it's nice that they're gentle with everything. They know how to hold the snakes.
Mm.
Jackson's been bit by garter snakes a couple of times and never bothers him. He's just like ow, and then he you know pulls them off and keeps holding them.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
pretty cool.
wicked.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to this new place. Geez, I want to say maybe Friday or Saturday. We took a day to ourselves just to kind of chill with the kids, and Jess was with me. I felt terrible because it's called Sanderstown Preserve, and it's just east of Glenville. And there's three small waterfalls, like a five that we saw, 5 footer, and then a couple of 10 footers. And we got the kids on the trail, and it was getting close to a storm passing anyway, so we wanted to kind of take a shorter trail. So we started on a red trail going downhill, and we took a blue trail that kind of spurred off, and then it spurred off again to another blue trail that went back up the hill where we came. The problem is that once you get on that second blue trail, everything turns to mud, and it's basically a muddy creek bottom for the rest of the walk all the way up to the cars, and it there was no way to keep our feet out of the water at all. The kids loved it.
Oh yeah.
They were in their glory. I had water shoes on, so I had basically mud squirting into the holes in my water shoes.
Nice.
Jess, yeah, we expected a dry hike, so Jess had her sneakers on, her running sneakers on, of course. So I think those are ruined.
I would say so.
Yeah, so those are shot. But the kids, another one of their really long hikes. At the beginning of the trail, there was a really nice steep kind of escarpment that we went down to see the waterfalls, but then we had to come back up that to get back onto the main trail. So that kind of tired them out quite a bit. But but yeah, it's nice to see them building their strength so we can get out to the Catskills and out to the Finger Lakes and things like that.
Definitely. That's
So
and then they could play all around they want with the species in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty amusing to see them, running off trail to try to catch something. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's fun, but I'm hoping sometime maybe we can plan something with the whole team again because it's been so long with COVID and all our schedules and everything to get everyone together.
Yeah. We'll see.
You know?
Hopefully things will stay get better.
Yeah, I know, right? Hopefully, right.
Yeah.
Um, one thing I do want to mention is that the New York Second Saturday is coming up very soon. Geez, is it already? No, okay, it's the
Yeah.
14th. Yeah. So Saturday the 14th, we personally, me and Carl, and then whoever else wants to join us, will be in Troy working on the Narrows again. I was able to purchase a bunch of tools and a really nice gorilla cart or gator cart
Nice.
with funding from Carl's group, New York State Waterfalls. Shoot, I always forget the entire thing because it's a pretty long one, but it's New York State Waterfalls. I believe you probably know it too, but of course I'm forgetting it, and I hate that I do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
And Facebook isn't showing it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, New York hikes and waterfalls leave only footprints.
Yeah.
So I apologize about that, guys. But yeah, the group has been awesome. She's got stickers and swag and sweatshirts and stuff for sale, and so through her funding, we were able to get tools specifically for the Narrows, which was fantastic. Um, to date, basically, I've been filling up the van with literally all of my garden tools and taking those to every time we have a volunteer day. So it's really nice to have those that we can dedicate directly for the project itself.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah. So that's the 14th. we'll probably start at about 9:30 at Burton Pond. So just keep that in mind. Uh, we still are gaining a lot of members on the Steps app. It's Steps Map Your World. So check that out. We have a bunch of parks on there right now, and I'm hoping that the community members are willing to add a lot of their locations as well, because I think it's going to be a really fun map for a lot of people. So, um, Stosh, is there anything you want to add?
Uh, Not really. I just know that those different dates that you talked about, I think they're on Saturdays, which
Yep.
stinks with my schedule, so I can't
Yeah.
make it. But that's okay. At least we're doing it.
Yep.
Um, but
Well, you're still technically doing a New York Second Saturday by doing
by doing
the 14th, because
oh yeah,
you'll be, yeah, you'll still be doing something.
yes,
So yeah.
that's true. Um, but yeah, volunteer when you can. Today, I uh, I cleaned up a bunch of crap on the trails, mostly uh, disgusting stuff like I wouldn't say tissues, but toilet paper, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of that, and I don't understand why you can't go 60 feet off trail and bury it, but yeah,
Yeah.
volunteer when you can, number one, and number two, leave no trace.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Clean up after yourselves, and if you have to, clean up after others, because it's a shitty world we live in right
Yeah.
now. So if you make a if you make an impact just by doing something yourself, that's a bigger impact than nothing.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, every single time my kids go out, they've got something in their hands they're grabbing off the trail. So they know it's not supposed to be there. First thing they do is they go grab it. The problem is I've got to be ever cautious what they're grabbing before they grab it. So
Yeah, right.
when yeah, so when you're leaving that stuff on the side of the trail, try to keep in mind that my kids are out there and they're going to try to grab it. So
Yeah.
and everyone else's kids too. So but yeah, definitely leave no trace, please. Um, but yeah, so I guess we can kind of keep tonight short. I'm gonna try to get someone on for next week, and hopefully, talk about either their travels, their business, or whatever. I have a couple people that I'm planning on trying to get on. I just need them to email me back first. So
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. I gotta start doing that for certain projects.
yeah,
Let's say,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's gonna be
Yeah,
fun because I actually we had the 3,500 dinner this weekend, so I got to talk to
oh
a
yeah,
lot of people
awesome, good,
about my future endeavors, and they seemed pretty interested. So
good.
I'm lucky to have close friends that are dedicated to the Catskills.
Well, it's funny because right now it's been easier to get Chris from Tennessee on than anybody from New York. It's kind of amusing.
That's
So
crazy, isn't it?
yeah. So if anybody watches this and they've got something they want to share, whether it be their own local business, whether it be their hiking, really cool hiking experience, or just kids' experiences, or even foraging, something like that. But hit us up. We'd love to have you on and talk. So, but otherwise, my shout out is just to the Dig the Falls community, and to New York Hikes and Waterfalls. Leave only for friends. You guys all have been really phenomenal through the years, and love to be part of the communities. So, all right, Stash, if you got nothing else to say, I'm signing off, bud.
All right, man. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for doing what you're doing, keeping awareness of all the stuff that's going on and all the stuff that we can do.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You too.